Hi, Rich Karuba for bowlingball.com. Let's talk about the four-step approach for beginning bowlers. Okay, you want to develop a consistent bowling approach. 4 steps is a good way to coordinate and organize the relationship of your arm swing cycle to your pattern of your footwork. Good footwork fundamentals make for a sound bowling approach and help you develop accuracy as you practice and get efficient at doing so. So some of the keys are, number one, the length of your steps. We like to ask you to use a normal walking stride for consistent footwork. Also, we like a consistent pace of steps. So the first step and the last step, you might build a little momentum as you go, but not a great deal. We don't want you to run to the foul line, and we don't want you to stop and pause too long after every step. Just a continuous motion to the foul line. Walk nice and softly and relaxed on the approach. The strategy is not to bounce so you lose balance while you're walking to the foul line. And how far you should stand from the foul line depends on your height and the length of your natural walking stride. As example, a 6-foot bowler typically covers about 12 feet of distance from the foul line back on the approach, and that's where the first set of guide dots to help you get lined up are located. The 4 steps plus the slide usually come to close to 12 feet. You want to make sure you slide just within a couple inches of the foul line every time. Okay, so those are a good place to start, the 12-foot dots for a 4-step approach. If you're a shorter person with a shorter stride, get your heels up in front of the dots, maybe even further up yet. And if you're a person with a longer stride, you can stand back. A little experimentation helps, and by all means, your coach can help you too. The tempo, the pace of your step should be slow enough to produce a smooth walking motion, a slight heel-toe action, and then a nice smooth gliding slide on your final slide step. And each step should try to match in pace, as we said before, fairly uniformly. The slide step, you should glide in evenly with the sole and the heel into the foul line. Your knee should be flexed, and your weight should be forward just a bit so the front part of your shoulders fits over your kneecaps, and you have a good athletic posture from start to finish through your whole approach. Don't rush the last 2 steps. That's the number one reason bowlers hurry the release and make an errant delivery, because they try to thrust into the foul line and hurl the ball. A good tip is to keep your head real steady too as you walk up there. It'll give you the balance you need, a little bit of flex in all your knees all the way through, so the big muscles come into play when you flex your knees. That gives you your power, natural leverage as you get into the foul line if you use your legs properly. Finally, the direction. It can't be emphasized enough how important it is to walk your line. We recommend for new bowlers a straight line, absolutely. Where you put your foot is where you want to finish, and that matters. If the coach moves you over to one side of the lane to shoot your spare, you still want to walk a straight line so the target you choose on the lane is an accurate one and remains the proper target. If whichever direction you move on the approach, strikes or spares, try to walk your line. Very important. And drifting can hurt you because the target you select might not be the correct target when you arrive at the foul line, and then you'll have to force your arm in a direction that you don't need to in order to try to pick up the spare. So a couple of boards of drift is okay, it's permissible, but try to get real good at walking your lines consistently. So the footwork really involves a lot of the results that you get in terms of accuracy. We could say accuracy lives with good footwork. So those are some key components that we think will help your approach so you can develop a consistency and some accuracy. Make sure you talk to a certified bowling instructor, or perhaps your local pro shop professional. A lot of them are certified coaches, and they can help you if you're having trouble learning. We like to see you synchronize the arm swing by beginning your swing a little before you begin your steps, moving your ball forward into motion slightly. All that relates to the setup position, how high or low you hold the ball, how close to your body you hold it. Your coach can help you with that, but regarding the 4-step approach for beginner bowlers, we highly recommend that technique. And as you develop in the game, if you want to consider making a slight adjustment, you can do so at that time. We hope some of these tips help. We have an article posted in Bowlversity to this effect, so we thank you for visiting.